we were sure about what these teams are going to do.
Kind of the trajectory of where this season could potentially go.
Love for Maui?
Yeah, I'm going to go back and brew it.
Back!
We have no idea who Michigan is, who Notre Dame is.
Cardell Jones. I'm not here to play school.
20 years from now, I'll be right here on a bar ladder because this thing is like legit.
I'm going to hit the record button, and we are live.
After hours.
Can you hear the birds chirping?
Dude, birds are chirping.
There's also lightning in the distance.
There is a little lightning in the distance.
We're still, hold on. There we go. Sorry,
You guys have got the craziest schedules ever. All I know is I just come to talk about football and beer.
This is the Varsity Brews podcast, and this is After Hours, and boy, gentlemen, I've missed you. It's like live in the flesh here.
This guy's lost like 20 pounds since the last time I've seen him.
10.
10?
10.
So what's the difference, you think?
That's what I'm eating.
What are you eating?
A lot of protein and a lot of fat.
Buddy. The birds are chirping. Oh, are you deaf over here?
lot.
Sorry.
It might be a little loud.
What?
Might be a little loud.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm deaf.
Oh, there we go.
Are you good?
there
sorry.
we-
Yeah.
Oh, that's
All right.
a
You
little
guys
better.
sound
Oh,
lovely.
holy smokes. There
So
we go.
this is the Varsity Brews podcast, and we do talk about football, as Aaron mentioned. We do talk about beer, and we do talk about
Mr. Fluffles.
we talk about jiu-jitsu. We talk
Jiu-jitsu,
about whatever
yeah,
you want to
whatever.
talk about.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, which is what we're. Hey, buddy, I'm still looking for you on the mat.
Yeah, well, or I'm telling you, just show up with some beer and watch us one of these days.
Yeah, you guys were texting me earlier, like, hey, why don't you come over and we'll see each other or go at it around. I'm like, I'm sitting at the bar having a late afternoon cocktail after beer deliveries. I'm like, no, I'm good.
We have a live studio audience here, by the way, at WestWind Brewery. It's good to be back with you guys. Obviously, a lot has happened since our last podcast in February. We're going to talk NFL draft. We're going to talk about Michigan. We're going to talk about Notre Dame. We're going to talk about everything in between, jiu-jitsu. We're going to talk about some of the new beers that Aaron has on tap here at WestWind. And, of course, we'll talk about our great sponsor for the podcast, Gabe from Rustic Rocks. Man, it's his season right now.
Yeah, dude, Gabe's getting into full swing. You know, it's funny, throughout the winter, he just kind of comes in and he's like, he rations every week. He buys one less beer. He's like, well, spring season's coming back, I'll be back. So, yeah, no, Rustic Rock does a great job locally in the Elkhart and Mishawaka area. So, yeah, if you ever need anything, look him up. He's a good dude.
Well, and if you don't know, WestWind right here is pet-friendly patio. So come on out. The summer months are absolutely gorgeous.
We're getting close.
Star Wars Day.
Man, it's been the 80s over here. We got the umbrellas up. Yeah, I mean, half the time there's more people sitting on the patio. We just got we extended it about a year or two ago, and we went from 18 seats to 60 now. So come out, bring your furry friend. We asked you to keep him on Tupac come. Keep him on a leash, but we got water bowls at the brewery at the entrance.
Nice.
They're not allowed in the brewery per the Elkhart Health Department. That's my disclaimer. But
brought to you by Patrick Industries. We're back at it like we never left.
But we're a pet-friendly patio, and bring your pup out, have a beer, get our pup nachos. WWE pup nachos are fantastic right now. That's been the hot ticket. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we are happy to be back on the podcast. Let's just, kick it off, Evan. A lot has happened since the last time we got together, specifically the NFL draft.
Yeah.
What are your overall thoughts here? I know we were going back and forth a little bit on those first couple of days, but what's your overall impressions on Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears and everything in between, including the surprise at number 8 going to the Atlanta Falcons?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys know where I stand on Caleb Williams. He's still, for me, I think it was a risk by the Bears. Now, the Bears overall had a good draft. I think they filled some holes.
They did well.
But here's what I will say is, I mean, their first 2 picks were very much like the Lions during the Lions' decline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where it was quarterback and wide receiver.
It's immediately what I thought of, too.
Really?
And you guys know my stance on the NFL draft is, every year there is that one quarterback for whatever reason that they think is going to be the difference maker for a franchise.
And doesn't pan out.
And a lot of times that's difficult to predict. I mean, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. No one would have predicted that Pat Mahomes was going to have the type of career in the NFL that he's having.
Absolutely.
You look at the Buffalo Bills and what Josh Allen did coming out. I mean, I saw a little TikTok or reel of Buffalo Bills fans when they didn't draft Josh Rosen, who's not in the NFL right now, and they drafted Josh Allen. Now, the Bills are at a little bit of a crossroads right now. I would say.
Bills are.
100% agree with that.
But if you look over the course of the last 3 to 5 years, what Josh Allen was able to do there, and also Pat Mahomes, those guys were on list, but they weren't the guy in that draft. And so I think that I'm not sold on it for the Bears. I'm not.
I agree.
I really am not.
I'm with you. I don't think Caleb Williams is the guy.
And
but
I said this,
the
as
media does.
we were leading up to the
media
draft.
does.
Oh, yeah.
I still think Fields is a better quarterback. And I wouldn't be surprised next year if Justin Fields is a starting quarterback at some point during the season.
Yeah.
So
kudos to the Steelers.
That one, yeah. I mean, that one, I don't know. I mean, the writing was on the wall early on what the Bears wanted to do, and they stuck to their plan.
Yeah.
Whether it pans out or not, honestly, right now, I'm on the side where I don't think it does.
I'm 100% in agreement with Evan here. I said it last year when the season was.
I mean,
said,
how
I don't
pedestrian
think
did he look against Notre Dame?
And that's the example that they kept using is the Notre Dame example.
Yeah.
Is who used it? Dan Orlovsky used it.
Who usually his takes are spot on.
I like Dan Orlovsky. I think he has good takes. I
Former
think
Detroit line.
I think when you put pressure,
Yeah, stepped out of bounds.
Oh, why you gotta bring that up?
He brings it up. That's why
He
it's so
does
funny.
bring it up.
when you saw the tape and you saw the pressure coming on him last year from Notre Dame, the throws were terrible.
Yep.
The throws were rushed off the back foot. I don't think he's advanced enough. I just don't know if it's.
Let me speak to that just real quick. So, any
I touched a nerve, I think.
No. Any elite level quarterback is pedestrian when you put pressure on him. Now there are some guys that are a little bit better at delivering accurate throws when there's pressure in their face. And those are the you have your tier 1 quarterbacks and your tier 2. The tier 1 guys are able to evade, which is why so many teams are excited about Caleb Williams. But here's it.
Or are you able to extend the play? Right, he's able to extend the play. Is that what they love about him so much? Is that he can extend the play and do whatever he wants to do? But that's dangerous.
But no, it's not. You look at the position of quarterback in the NFL has changed quite a bit. There are not very many guys that just stand in the pocket and throw the ball.
Gotta be a
So
little bit
you
of a
would
scrambler.
compare him to Patrick Mahomes?
There are similarities.
Really?
But
I don't know, buddy.
But yeah, they both are athletic. They both can make throws on the run. Here's the thing, Vahid, is Caleb Williams standing alone, I think, is a tremendous prospect.
Okay. I agree.
think the program and the franchise matter. And I don't think the Chicago Bears are the franchise.
So what? Okay, so
Right now.
let me conversely put that
That's fair.
to Michael Penix Jr., who just went to the Atlanta Falcons, who's going to have an offensive line that's pretty strong, who's going to sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two and learn from Kirk Cousins. Whether that's a good thing or bad thing, he's still going to learn. If Kirk Cousins is ready to go. If Kirk Cousins is not ready to go, then he might get in the game right away.
Word on the street, he might be still being a little injured.
So that's,
So what do you think about the system that the Chicago Bears have? Obviously, the offensive line didn't serve Justin Fields very well last year. So what do you think about if he went to the Atlanta Falcons? Do you think he'd be in a better place?
No, I think the Lions should have drafted Caleb Williams.
Ooh.
So wow.
That's a
Are you for real?
For him to have success early,
give this guy a hug.
So, hey,
That's going on the promo right
for
there.
Caleb Williams to have success early.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
He would have had to got into a franchise that had a solid offensive and defensive line.
I agree.
Okay. I'm not convinced at this point right now the Bears are there. I may change my answer in a year or two if they make some moves. But had he been plugged into a program franchise that has a great mentality from the head coach, where they're focused on beating teams at the line of scrimmage. Justin Fields, if you look at what he did on his own with a terrible offensive line,
right,
and still didn't win.
Offensive line did suck.
I mean,
so
look at
was getting Caleb Williams an upgrade in what they're doing?
I mean,
no.
So
I think overall, that's a fair statement, Evan.
So Bryce Young looks worse than Jake Delhomme did because Jake Delhomme had an offensive line.
Well,
he's going to be a backup in 2 years.
Who is?
Bryce Young. Bryce Young was not in a position to succeed in Carolina.
No.
I'm saying that's how it happens. It happens so quickly that you're right. If you go to an organization that is not set up properly to handle a quarterback,
so here's
then you go the Justin Fields route. You get rid of him for an 8th round pick or whatever it was.
You ask about Michael Penix, all right? Marcus Mariota won a Heisman Trophy. So you think that an upgrade again with Michael Penix? I don't think the Atlanta Falcons are the franchise either.
Yeah.
I think overall this is a weak quarterback draft class.
Wow. Even though 6 went in the first round.
Yes.
So here's what I heard.
That was a needs-based draft.
I want to make one comment on that Atlanta comment. So they went and got old boy from Minnesota, right? And they ended up taking
and
JJ.
They paid him $300 million.
He got 180. What did he get? 180 million for 4 years.
Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah,
guaranteed. Yeah, I think it's guaranteed.
90 million guaranteed.
It's some crazy amount. And then you go draft. You take your number 8 pick, where you could have done something. Go get Michael Penix Jr., who was a good, quote-unquote, college quarterback, right? And you bring him in. But the word on the street is everything that I've been listening to and watching on the McAfee show, there's your shout-out, boys. There you go.
Okay.
Is that...
Please buy a Barletta.
Yeah, buy a Barletta.
We'll get you a
Barletta beer.
Yeah.
Or get your rocks done by Rustic Rocks.
That's right.
Was the fact that, he's injured. Like, he may not come back. He had a pretty serious injury in Minnesota, right? And so he's recovered. I guess they're all saying he's gonna be the starter. They wouldn't have paid him that. Why do you go waste a number 8 pick? That's a big pick. You could have gone and gotten something like a lot, right?
But I don't necessarily think that was a bad choice because eventually he's going to be gone anyway. Look at next year's draft class.
Yeah, there's no.
Who are they going to get? Just Milroe?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the next couple of drafts. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not a quarterback.
Yeah, I think, and that probably played into the fact why so many quarterbacks were taken. Even though I think it was a weak draft class this year.
Yeah.
You're probably looking at boards for next year and saying, well, we got to take one this year because it's not getting any better in a year.
It's worse next year.
So the question is then, out of all the quarterbacks taken in the first round, because you had 6 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, who will be the best NFL quarterback when said and done in 10 years?
Do you want Harbaugh's answer?
J.J. McCarthy?
Harbaugh would get fired in 3 years.
All right, there you go.
I really thought they were going to give up Herbert for McCarthy.
Wow. That would have been crazy.
Hey, that would have been ballsy.
Do you think J.J. was overdrafted?
I don't think so. Not. I mean, what did he have to be at 10?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, listen, we're live, so this is, You get a little background music.
That's Minnesota Viking fans right there.
The blue.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, the ladder and everything. Yeah, we are live.
So who has the best career?
Yeah. Are you looking up who was drafted?
Yeah, so Caleb Williams.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels from LSU.
Drake May.
Okay.
North Carolina, number 3.
Don't love that pick at all for...
I think that's a risky pick.
It's not going to pan out for them.
Penix to the Falcons.
Okay.
Penix
to the Vikings.
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix to the Broncos.
Yeah. Okay.
Bo Nix. Hey, listen, the Broncos love him. Like, they are talking about, like, the day of his professional tryout, like,
right.
They were talking about how he threw it in like windy weather and the wind was whipping, and they're like, they didn't even know what was happening, and they're like, we love this guy. Why would you waste a draft pick unless you believed in that guy to be and Broncos don't have anything right now at quarterback, right?
I don't necessarily know if he's going to be the best NFL pick or best NFL of the group to have a best career. But I certainly think he was the most underrated and undervalued of that group. I really like Bo Nix a lot.
I agree with that a little bit, yeah. Where you got JJ?
No, I have Jaden Daniels, but that organization's a freaking mess.
Yeah.
I think the Washington Commanders don't know what they want.
Yeah.
That organization needs to change.
Yeah.
Top to bottom. I don't know. They remind me of the Detroit Lions from a few years back.
Ago. Sure.
They just have lost their way as an organization. I think Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback of the entire group. I think he has the best arm. I think he has the best talent, but I don't know if he's going to work out the best because of that organization.
What do you think, Evan? Who's the best quarterback coming out of this year's 2024 draft? Dun, 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 dun.
But I do like Bo Nix.
You like Bo Nix?
I do like Bo Nix.
24 years old.
He's a little bit older, too, yeah. I mean, but so is Penix. Isn't Penix a little bit older, too? I think Penix is 23.
Yeah, I think May's going to have the worst of the careers.
We'll see. Who do you think, Evan?
Okay.
I'm gonna. While you're thinking, can I make my comment? I'm gonna tell you what.
I know where I've got it right here, right now.
Who is it?
I mean, if you look at the teams drafting quarterbacks that have been successful in the last 5 to 8 years, the answer is J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Because there's enough.
He's top 3.
That's
what I was gonna say.
There's enough built around him already.
Yeah, the Michigan guys come out to play.
I'm looking at it purely from a standpoint of. Again, my approach, if I'm running an organization, is not to draft a quarterback or a running back.
You would draft O-line?
O-line
or D-line?
Because
it's fair.
Because you can get in free agency, or you can trade for a quarterback and a running back.
Yeah.
Here, okay. Can I just speak to that for 1 second?
Yeah.
Before I forget, I agree, because the Detroit Lions drafted, and I'm going to use them as an example. They drafted offensive and defensive line. They're studs. Mm-hmm. But you get to the conference championship, and all of a sudden you're like, I wish we had a superstar quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm not buying this whole thing where they're sitting up there and chanting his name at the draft and all that stuff. I just think
he put some sick stats up, but you are right. The guys around him made him better.
100%.
100%. I agree.
But here's the thing is, you can't, you could try to draft that quarterback and then build around.
Yeah.
But I still think the recipe is you build it. You build it and they will come.
That's true, right? It's true.
The dreams,
so,
baby.
You put 2 or 3 years in of a rebuild.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you go after that guy that is established maybe somewhere else in the league, or you do take a risk on someone who's a can't-miss guy because you're already set up to protect him and get off the field on defense and give him the ball.
Yeah. It's really, really hard choice because you're the Detroit Lions now.
Yep.
What do you do in 3 years?
Here's what I'll tell you. The Lions, I'm going to tell you what.
Did they have a good draft, you think?
I feel like they did. They picked up the cornerback positions of what they needed. We picked up like key components of what we needed for the Lions. The Lions didn't lose any coaching staff. They didn't lose any key component spots. If there's no reason the Lions should not be in the Super Bowl this upcoming year. That's what I'm going on the record. Mark it down. Today is 5-2. 5-2-24. Mark it down. I'm calling the Lions in the Super Bowl, and not because I think that they, they're the most amazing team, but they didn't lose anybody. They've got all their coaching staff, offensive, defensively, and head coach are all in place. They didn't lose any major players. They lost one cornerback. There's some, off-field
just signed Amon-Ra St. Brown to a 3-year deal.
Yeah, they just they got the number 1, number 2 best receiver in the NFL right now. Signed him to a huge contract. The guy's got boku guaranteed money. He earned it because he was getting paid pebbles when he first started. But good for him. Happy for that. But I'm gonna tell you what. Bottom line is the Detroit Lions will be in the Super Bowl only because they haven't lost anything, and they put in some. That's a great question.
Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs
you would think. Draft. Yeah, if you had to call it, I would call it.
How do they keep getting better? How do they keep getting better?
The Chiefs have done what the Packers have done for the last 20 years. The Chiefs and whatever the Patriots did.
Yeah.
They have kind of they're a dynasty. They're 100% a dynasty right now.
100% agree with that.
And the Super Bowl runs through them. I 100% believe until either Kelsey retires.
Yeah, Kelsey's got a 2-year deal, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
And or Mahomes gets injured / retired. Now, I'm going to follow up with that. For the Detroit Lions, something else that they have no control of. Overnight, I believe the NFC North got 1 billion times tougher.
Oh, 100%
Like the
agree with that.
J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota.
Yep.
They're stacked. I think Minnesota is stacked to make a run.
Yeah.
I just think their coaching may be holding
Got
them
one of
back
the
a
top
little
receivers in the NFC, right? Or maybe in the NFL, in Justin Jefferson.
We're going to find out this year, is Jordan Love for real?
Yeah.
Was that run whatever?
Yeah.
They got the top running back in the league,
Yep.
which I don't really understand that because they had the chemistry with Aaron Jones, but you bring in a new running back, I'm not sure about that. Chicago, they got, you say no, but they got a playmaker, right? So
Who? Who's the playmaker?
at the quarterback position?
Justin Fields.
I know. They're not going to be. They're going to play
They're
the
not going to
game.
be better.
They're not. So what did they win
Evan has
last
gone
year?
on the record and said that they're not going to be better. I mean, I see what Evan's point is. They basically
They're
took
going
a
to be
guy.
competitive, right?
They literally,
You would hope so.
just changed the name of the quarterback.
I agree.
So why would they be better?
I mean, I'm just saying they're going to be competitive.
Gotta done that.
It's freaking Bears, man.
Freaking Bears.
I'm not a Bears fan, so I'm okay with this.
There's a few Bears
Well,
fans that
I
out there
just
saying
see on
freaking Bears.
socials like how pumped up all the Bears fans in the area here are about the draft, and I'm like,
We've seen this.
and then
before.
there's the new stadium. Like that's going to change that they're going to win or lose.
No, it just means
Sorry,
that
Bears fans.
just means that the Packers are going to win 2 games in the stadium next year. Well, certainly the NFC North has changed overnight. I believe
I think it's
in terms of
gotten
at
tougher.
least
A little bit, a little
Minnesota.
I think Minnesota is going to be good.
I do.
You think JJ's going to come in and just?
I mean, the dude. I mean, what? He's lost 1 or 2 games in 3 or 4 years.
You listen to some of his teammates talk about where he was drafted and where he got into, and they talk about how the charisma part that he brings to the game, right? He may not be a freaking come in and immediately be a Joe Montana, but he's a guy that he's an athlete and he competes. One thing that I know about JJ McCarthy is he doesn't like to lose.
Yeah, I mean,
And
there's a
that-
lot of similarities between him and Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
but I think he's better than Kirk Cousins.
I do think he's. An
I agree
upgrade.
with that.
I think he is an upgrade from
If-
Kirk.
if
I
you
don't
look-
think Kirk
if you-
Cousins is very good, to
if
be
you-
honest.
no,
eh?
but-
Not that he went to Michigan State, but I'm just saying.
But same mentality, though. I mean, did you guys watch the quarterback documentary?
Yes.
That dude doesn't like to lose either.
yeah,
Yeah,
say
That's what I mean.
They say he's very
He's a tough,
competitive.
like, and I think that part matters. But JJ can make a lot of the throws.
Yeah,
and
he
it's
can.
going to be how quick is he going to pick up the offense,
Yeah,
gel
pick
with
up
the
the
guys.
offense. Yeah.
But it's a lot easier when you got to plug and play like that. All the other quarterbacks that we named, there are question marks all across the roster. Bears, Commanders, Patriots,
Not the weapons around him. Yeah.
Falcons.
I think there's question marks with every team except the Kansas City Chiefs. I think there's question marks with every team in the league except the Kansas City Chiefs. They literally got better.
What's your question mark with the Lions? Goff?
Yeah.
I mean, if
And the
you
wide receivers. I think they need maybe one more wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Is Williams healthy this year?
Williams has been he went through a couple
He could be good
gambling
take.
things.
He could be the X
yeah.
factor.
He could be. I mean, hey,
I mean, if you
He's
have him
good.
and
He's
St. Brown,
fast, yeah.
Alabama kids in Detroit are working for our system right now. If you
Yeah,
look
you
at
got
how many-
quarterbacks, yeah.
Yeah, we got quarterbacks, we got cornerbacks.
Corner.
Cornerback. Yeah, we just drafted.
Yeah.
I mean, wide receivers. The Alabama system works in Detroit, so if Williams can get out of his,
get out of his own way.
maybe a little bit thuggish way, I'll say. I'm not trying to be, like you look at his first day going to the game, and
Yeah. What I really like about Detroit
Yeah.
is Dan Campbell.
yeah, Dan Campbell's going to get it.
I think they have really, Dan Campbell has embraced that city. They've embraced him. They play his style of football. I just wish they had a better quarterback.
So
And
are we
that-
calling
plain
it
and simple.
now that Detroit, Kansas City
I'm not calling Detroit.
preseason
I haven't called
in the
Detroit
Super
yet.
Bowl? Well, I have. Me and Evan have. But
You both you have, right?
I've got the Lions and Chiefs.
Lions, Chiefs. Listen,
I've got
let's
Chiefs
do
for
it.
sure.
Okay.
I don't know. I think the other team. I'm interested to see how Dallas plays this year.
Yeah,
I think
they-
the door is open for Dallas.
And they just picked back up Ezekiel.
Who did?
The Dallas Cowboys picked up
re-signed
Ezekiel Elliott.
I think I saw that.
in the free agency.
All right, let's go down.
How is he still in the league?
Who, Ezekiel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's. We got our live crew leaving here.
Yeah, they're leaving.
See you, live crew.
See you, live crew.
Okay, so just real quick before we go, because
Handing out some high fives on the way up.
Vahid, I do very much agree with you. I think that in Detroit, you know, they're an elite quarterback away from winning the big game.
You said that last
100%.
You
But
said last week. I'm not in
Jared
disagreement.
Goff last year threw for 4,575 yards.
That's respectable.
That's a lot of yards.
Yeah, it is. How many touchdowns? How many interceptions?
His stats were better than the guys in the MVP race.
God.
Guys, don't forget, Jared Goff was a first-round draft pick.
I just never
wanna
have
point that out.
really wrapped my arms around Jared
'cause-
Goff. You know,
I know that's because the media likes it. Like the media loves to who
who
they
did he
want.
put in the? Who was he in the draft with again?
The Rams.
The Rams.
No. Who was in his draft
I'm not
class?
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's a full-loaded question.
Okay, so
I'll have to give Evan some time to look it up.
Because he was the number 1 overall pick, right?
He was.
To the Rams.
Yes.
So last year he threw 30 touchdowns.
I feel like he was in the same draft as Patrick
picks.
Mahomes.
Was he really? You think? Yeah, because Mahomes went what?
God, now where's my? Can somebody look this up?
So
Dude, do you need your
he was
phone?
drafted in 2016, or that was his first year.
Wasn't that Mahomes' year? Man.
Gotta go back a little bit of time.
Now we got to do.
I got it.
All right, he's got it.
I'm working on it.
My Samsung's
Okay,
taking
while you
forever.
guys are looking that up, can I just like?
Yeah, so Goff was number
There we go.
1. Wentz was number 2.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
This was the same draft class as
And look
Joey.
at Carson Wentz. He's like.
Oh, Carson Wentz was number 2. Yeah, he's
yeah,
garbage.
He's garbage, right?
Bosa
And-
was 3.
Okay.
Ezekiel Elliott 4th.
Mahomes was in the 3rd round.
yeah, I think he was. He wasn't a first-round pick.
So you had 2 quarterbacks taken, first 2 picks, and then you didn't have a quarterback taken.
This is really interesting.
The Denver Broncos drafted Paxton Lynch from Memphis.
Yeah, I
Wow.
remember that.
Wow.
That worked
Yeah,
out for
that
like
was-
a minute.
That was the
3 games.
Those were the 3 quarterbacks in the first round.
Do you know what the draft that Mahomes was in?
Oh, who do you want?
Mahomes.
Oh,
What-
Mahomes?
What year he was drafted?
Okay.
All
Give me
right,
30 seconds.
2016 NFL draft. All right, here we go. So into round 2 at quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes was drafted at number 10, selected by the Kansas City Chiefs in the 2017
Oh, so he was
NFL
the year
draft.
after.
In the first round.
Yeah, so
It's number 10. I thought he was 3rd round,
Christian
but number 10.
Hackenberg
Okay.
from Penn State.
Was ahead of him?
No, this was the year prior. We're talking.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
there were only 3 quarterbacks taken
do you think
for
that?
Jacoby Brissett
Oh, Jacoby
and Cody
Brissett.
Kessler.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the first 3 rounds.
Oh boy.
That's
Next year, you know who you're talking about
Take
next
some
year?
dice,
So
throw them on the table.
Goff
play
was
some
by
roulette.
far
That's
the best
draft.
quarterback in that draft.
Do you know? This is ballsy.
Yeah.
You know what I would do if I was Detroit?
What?
Wait another year, see if homeboy can win you a Super Bowl, which he's not going to.
They're gonna give me here. Yeah, sure.
I would trade him.
He's looking for a big contract right now. They haven't signed an extension yet.
Don't do it.
No, I wouldn't do it either. Trade him for Justin Fields and bring. I told you this last year.
Wow.
Bring Justin Fields
He'd thrive.
to Detroit, and they would win a Super Bowl, hands down.
So,
Hands down.
Could you put together a list of quarterbacks that if you plugged in Detroit would win? Like if you said it right now. Like let's say
You gotta get
let's say
3
Mahomes
quarterbacks.
off
Just
the
3.
list, obviously.
Yeah, I can't have Mahomes.
Josh
He's not
Allen
going
off the
there.
list.
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
All right.
Let's see. Who else would I choose? What's his name? I just said it. Bear, ex-Bear.
Oh yeah, Justin
Fields. Hold on, I'm trying to think.
Brock Purdy. Nope.
I don't think
Trevor Lawrence.
I think Brock Purdy's in the perfect system for what he does.
Does yeah.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. I don't think Trevor Lawrence either. Even though he's got he's got a cannon of an arm. Though.
Tua.
No.
Tua led the league in passing yards last year.
It's a fully loaded question, but you look a little stumped.
Tua. I don't know how I feel about Tua. Tua's really good at times, and at times he's really mistake prone.
He's got a good offensive supporting cast too to put up numbers like that.
Like the cheetah.
Yep.
He's got cheetah. He's got Waddle.
But, you take a look at if you put like Lamar Jackson in Detroit, probably wouldn't be the most ideal situation for him because Lamar is a scrambler. Detroit's got a great running game, right?
No, he's not.
No,
Lamar is
he's
not.
Lamar's not.
He's not a scrambler. I'm so tired of that.
Okay,
That narrative.
Oh, here we go.
There's so many people that say
we
that.
pinched the nerve. I like it.
Look at that dude.
Do you think he can win Detroit?
Does he rush for more yards than he throws?
No,
Then
but
he's not a scrambler.
But like Michael Vick didn't rush for more yards than he threw for.
But everyone knew it's because they're freak athletes.
No. I think
They're
the
just
question
better than every other running quarterback.
Evan, I agree, but I think the question comes as to: are you going to stand in the pocket and throw it when
Nobody
somebody's coming?
does that in the NFL anymore.
Everybody's got
What quarterback in the NFL right now that is elite stands in the pocket and throws?
Josh Allen.
No, he doesn't.
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen was drafted because he extends plays.
I think Josh Allen stands in there and takes a hit, though.
That dude makes the same number of no-look sidearm throws as Patrick Mahomes does. Watch the tape.
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers is the only example.
So could Aaron Rodgers come to Detroit for 1 year?
Yeah, because he's a freaking Hall of Famer.
Okay, so fine. Let's go to the Jets.
So I think Aaron Rodgers.
No, don't do that. Though. No, don't do that.
He's gonna blow out an Achilles or something.
I have a hot take.
I also don't think Lamar would fit in Detroit, though.
Yeah, okay,
So
that's
I
fair.
do agree with you.
All right.
I don't think it's for the reason that you said, but I agree.
I think Aaron Rodgers is just as much of a liability as Kirk Cousins.
Achilles is tough, man.
Yeah, I agree with that comment.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers, when he comes back next year, if he comes back next year, is going to be the same quarterback that he was in Green Bay.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
He's getting older. What is he, 40?
I think Green Bay was again.
42. I mean,
Green Bay is the perfect spot. And listen, I'm looking at the camera. I may be completely freaking wrong on this Jared Goff thing, and maybe I am. I'll eat my words next year if I am wrong.
If he wins the Super Bowl next year, you're going to have to use your words.
But I do think if the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl, it's not because of their offense. It's because of their defense.
You are 100% right.
Okay, that's fair.
If it comes down to offense or quarterback versus quarterback, I'm going to take Mahomes all day.
Okay.
It was my rule.
Dude has been down 10 points in each of the last three Super Bowls.
It was my same rule with Brady. I won't bet against Brady. Right now, I won't bet against Mahomes.
No. I just think, but if Detroit's going to win,
they'd have to force 3 turnovers.
100%.
Pick 6, maybe.
100%.
Which
and who knows? Who knows? Whatever whatever Kyle Shanahan did to expose the Lions in the second half of that game last year.
Yeah.
NFL teams are going to pick that tape apart.
I'll never
next
forget
year.
that. Yeah,
that was brutal.
That was tough to watch.
Man, it really was.
That was tough to watch. All right, let's stay in the state of Michigan and go to the college level because there's a lot to talk about there. Let's talk about, before we get to Michigan, let's talk about Notre Dame first because...
Yeah, give us the 4-1-1. I didn't even watch the spring game.
Yeah, I was at the spring game. I was at a couple of the spring practices. Boy, this defense is really good.
You like the defense?
I like the defense. It's really good. It's better than the offense.
Wow.
So
in spring, you're going to see that. You're going to see better defense.
Did they look really good because the offense sucks? Or because they're really good defense?
Both. The offense is definitely not where it needs to be.
Okay.
You don't even know what the offense is right now because of the things you and I talked about in the last podcast. The new offensive coordinator, your number one receiver is not there, Jordan Faison. He's playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
And you've got a quarterback that's been injured, which I am not sold on him.
Offensive lineman who was drafted, what was he, number 4?
Yes. So I'm not sold on the quarterback just yet. I call him Sage Rosenfels. I'm not sure why, but what I will say is this, Evan: the linebacking core is going to be a strength of Notre Dame in the upcoming season. They've got a lot of depth. They've got a lot of young guys. We don't know really any of the outside pass rushers this year. I think they're kind of no names, but I think that serves them to their advantage. I think they're young. Riley Mills is on the inside. Let's hope he can, muster up and have a good season. But I think the outside, whatever Notre Dame does, is going to be judged by how much of a pass rush they have this year.
That's been the story for like 15 years.
I know. But,
they can't get those guys.
Why can... Okay, this is a loaded question. But why can't they get the pass rushers?
Can't get them. They go to...
Miami, Florida
Big
State,
schools, yeah.
Alabama.
Yep.
Because why?
NIL.
No,
No?
well, currently maybe, but in the past 15 years, that's a different cat.
They
ain't going to Notre Dame.
I am sold on his defense. I love the defense the past couple of years, but they need pass rushers. They need pass rushers. Why was Ohio State able to beat Notre Dame? Pass rushers. They had pass rushers that in the moments that mattered, they got to the quarterback.
That's fair.
In the moments that mattered at the end of
that too, Bo.
But they didn't because at the moments that mattered, the pass rushers were able to do their jobs. Notre Dame had a 3rd and 28 or whatever it was, 3rd and 19 or 4th and 7, couldn't get the job done. You put too much pressure on the linebackers, they're going to move the football. So all I'm saying is you need pass rushers. I don't know. It's an unknown commodity right now in Notre Dame. This is the other thing that I will say about that offense. I'm not 100% sold on any of those quarterbacks except one guy. That's CJ Carr.
CJ Carr, yeah. Here we go.
Well,
hey, he's a Michigan guy, right? He's got ties.
Do you think he's going to start this year?
No.
Fully loaded question. Should I do it?
We talked about this, right? We talked
roll?
about this in our last podcast, and you said 100% he's not going to start. I think the only way he starts is if something happens to the starting quarterback.
Like gets
Or they lose
injured.
4 games.
Something.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the season's a wash. You're going to see him in game action.
Yeah.
He's too talented. He has too much of an arm. And he is a rah-rah guy, meaning he has energy.
Yeah, team rallies around him type thing.
I did ask you this question too.
Now, he did play with the 3rd string defense.
That's what I was going to bring up. But here's the thing. Here's what I told Vahid.
Let's put that little detail out there.
If he had struggled and didn't look as good as you said he looked.
Not in the spring game, he didn't look that good.
I'm just saying, like, in the practice you saw where he's carving up the 3rd string.
Yeah.
If he looked bad, that'd be a red flag.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
he's going out there and doing what he's supposed to do. That's a good thing.
I like CJ Carr. No, I don't think he's going to start that many games this year, if any. But I will say this. Kenny Minchie, that dude's going to be transferring next year.
Oh, wow.
No doubt.
Okay.
And I think he's pretty good, too. And Steve Angeli, it's supposed to be this competition between Angeli and whoever the Duke transfer, Riley Leonard. I don't know. I'm sold on CJ Carr. That's about it.
Who's going to start for Notre Dame? Call it now.
I don't know if Riley Leonard is right.
He's going to start.
Well, he's injury prone.
But
you don't bring a guy.
Yeah, you don't bring in a senior transfer, portal transfer.
I just don't know if he's right.
Yeah, well, you'll find out.
How many? What do you think this offense averages next year? Points scored.
Off the top of my head, I want to say 19.
I was going to say 24.
I was going to set it at 20.
Your top running back is also getting play at wide receiver position.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know a lot about this offense and how they're going to do. And Texas A&M's not going to be a good starter for them. You got Mike Elko, who's knows the quarterback.
Their defense is going to have to be really good.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
It's going to have to be really good.
But this is what. Having said all of that, are you ready? If Notre Dame gets by Texas A&M, I think they could run the table.
Oh gosh! Does the schedule?
And do you know why? Yes, because of the schedule.
Supports that.
Didn't you try to say this last year too?
Yes.
Game 3 in Mids.
I am to Notre Dame what he is to Michigan.
Yeah.
No,
He's loyal, but he is loyal.
It's not that. Come on. It's my alma mater. I'm loyal too.
Yeah. It's his
But-
I'll just
but-
tell it like
but-
it is. You know?
This happens every year.
Yeah, it does.
It's like Notre Dame fans get bored in the off season, and they're on the message boards, and they're talking about this, and this guy's going to do this, and they're so laser focused on this is the year.
I never said this is the year.
You just said they were going to run the table.
I think they're going to make the playoff.
It's easier to make the playoff.
Absolutely,
12
it is.
teams now, yeah.
Absolutely. And there's been talk about maybe going to 16.
Okay. Is it really?
Well, then they'll be in every year, and they can put a banner up that says they made the playoffs.
He's on one today. We're back on the Varsity Brews podcast. That's how I think about Notre Dame. I don't know if we saw enough on the offense. I think the defense is going to be pretty darn good. The quarterback play?
That's my biggest worry, Vahid, and you bringing up, like, if they get past Texas A&M. Their schedule is set up for them to have a good year.
At Purdue.
Okay? But
That's about it. I mean,
But with how big it's a big question mark on offense. It's not just like a small one.
no, it's a really big
It's a
question
big
mark.
one.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
And they had a good quarterback last year, and you saw in the games where they struggled, the offense didn't do a lot.
Boy, dude, like Notre Dame's got to have a tougher schedule.
Yeah, I mean,
they play two MAC teams next year.
and they'll probably lose one of those or it's close till the fourth quarter.
Navy and Army,
Man, they play Army next year too.
Purdue.
Oh my gosh. Meanwhile, Michigan's playing 5 of the top 25 teams.
Literally.
Oh, man.
And you see Oregon's schedule?
Hey, our first game is versus Texas.
I want to see Notre Dame play
Light that up.
Oregon.
So, that does beg the question as we get into this 12 or 16 team playoff.
Yeah,
and
you're going to see
I
easier
think-
and easier schedules.
You're not.
think?
You're not. How can you? Because what's
well.
shifting at the same time is 2 super conferences.
Yeah.
But you think Notre Dame's going to get rid of a MAC team, Ball State, to play Oregon?
They should.
It's not about what they should
They
do.
won't. No, they won't.
Because they should have, like, 20 years ago. But they won't. They're playing Navy and Army in the same year.
Evan, what 2 teams did you tell me that you heard rumor or maybe in the last
No, I
day
don't
or
even know if I
so?
want to say because it was just kind of through passing. But they're like, did you hear Clemson and Florida State are joining the Big Ten in 2 years? I was like, no.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine if that happened?
Dude, listen, that's a real thing, though. I mean,
Well,
it's
ACC 's
a
gonna be-
landing right
That'd
now.
be 20 teams.
Yeah, it'd be 20 teams. No longer the Big 10, Big 20.
I just feel bad for Oregon next year. That schedule is brutal. Brutal.
I think Oregon's going to be good, though.
And it's going to be, in that case, it's going to be tough. How do you settle at 12 or 16? Like, I mean, a 3-loss Big Ten team with a tough schedule. I mean, let's say you lose by a point.
Yeah.
There'll be the same conversation that we have every year in college football since I've watched college football as a kid and through my high school and through my college. There's going to be a team that's going to get left out. It doesn't
I know that, but
it doesn't
I mean-
matter if it's 12 or 16. It's going to happen. I mean, but what's happening at a bigger level, I think, and then we just talked about it, is it really going to be 2 super conferences? Is the NCAA going to go away? Right? I mean,
They
everybody's-
should.
Hey, yeah, right?
They already don't exist in my mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm anti-NCAA.
I still don't
Did I go
know
on the
what
record and say that? But
Targeting is.
but you look at what's going to happen inside of college football right now, and you're building 2 power conferences in these schools, whether it's networking rights or the money that's going to be dumped into them. Where are the kids going? Right? Where do kids want to go to play football that are going to be competitive, that have a chance to do one thing? Right? What is it?
Whoever gives them the most money.
Okay, I was going to say win the national championship, but
I don't think the
that's
kids
number
care as
2.
much.
Yeah,
I think you're absolutely correct. I don't think they give a damn about winning a national
honestly
championship
think
I
it's
anymore.
still-
still hope there's a
No
little
way.
bit of
No.
through NIL. Maybe it's
No.
not.
That's why Nick Saban retired.
Okay. Yeah.
Kids don't care.
I agree with Evan.
Okay. All right.
And it sucks. I
don't-
hate it.
I don't think kids give a damn about winning a
Swear to
title
God, winning
anymore.
title.
Just get that bag.
gosh.
That's it.
You think, though? I mean, like, honestly, Sam Hartman made more money at Notre Dame than he's going to make in the pros. You think he gave a damn about winning a title? I don't think so. No way.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I'll let it go.
I wish he did.
Yeah.
Because, we wouldn't have lost to Ohio State.
Sports have changed. I'm not, yeah.
That wasn't a national championship winning team.
Yeah, that's fair. I think
I'm not going to play this guy that just is a homer. I'm not.
that's a homer.
Even though No, I'm not.
So,
all right, speaking of homers.
Back to the playoff question, though,
Yeah,
too.
let's go.
You have a Big Ten team. How many games? They play 12 games, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You have a
13 if you're a Big Ten team.
9-3 Big Ten team,
Yep.
and you have an 11-1 Michigan team.
That doesn't go to the...
Who's better? I mean,
A 9-3 what?
like a 9-3 Big Ten team,
Yeah.
and let's say they have 3 or 4 quality wins, and
Notre Dame has 2 losses?
yeah, but those losses are to a MAC school and Navy.
This is the question that we've always thought. Did that 9-3 team go to a conference championship?
Probably not.
If you're asking me if Wisconsin lines up and they're 9-3,
Well, wasn't James Madison
And-
last year? They didn't go to a conference championship, and they were what? Like they got left out of the
I think
playoff?
it just depends who it is. I mean,
are
if
they
Wisconsin at 9-3 is the question mark against a 10-2 Notre Dame team, I think they pick Notre Dame.
But in a 12-team
But I
playoff,
think if it's like Shador, I don't know. Who's
Yeah.
going to make them the most money in the college football playoff?
that's what I
that's
think.
interesting.
Hey, that's what I think.
I'm
the
just
answer
saying
is.
it's very. It can be very. It's going to become
Who's
very
bringing the
convoluted.
Benjis?
It's going to be. It's going to be very convoluted.
I don't know. I mean, like, hey, 2 people are on the phone, and who's the one with the bag and who's not the one with the bag?
Doesn't matter.
on
It's 12 or
paper-
16.
On
Who's gonna
paper,
bring the
Notre
coin?
Dame with a 12 or 16 team playoff should make the playoffs. every year.
100% with a 2-loss team.
Yeah, even if they don't have one quality win.
Yeah. You going to go to a game in December at Notre Dame Stadium? Or?
No, sir.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're regional too.
I'll be at the bar. I'll be at the bar.
Oh, God. All right. Well, let's talk about Michigan very quickly before we get to these
right
brews.
now. Notre Dame Stadium will now be fully covered.
Going to a
The
dome.
Notre Dome.
Yeah, going to a dome. The Notre Dome.
Newt Rockne would have wanted it, okay? So let's talk about Michigan. How do you guys think they're going to fare here? I know you were talking a big game here before we got on the air.
I was. You want to start, Evan? Or you want me to go?
Sure. I mean, some similarities to Notre Dame. A lot of question marks on offense, but their defense is a lot better than Notre Dame's.
Do you think their defense is as good as it was last year?
No.
Okay, so
But their defense was so good last year.
Is he a defensive coach?
I'm going to go on the record, not because we just won the national championship last year, and say Michigan probably was the best overall college football team. I can say it because we won the national.
No, this sounds like me talking about Notre Dame.
Hold on.
This is funny.
Last year, we were the best team in the NCAA.
Yes.
Oh, by far.
Right? Yes.
Okay. Just playing dude football. Man,
playing
I mean, just
hard
control the line of
nosed, old
scrimmage.
school.
Yes.
That's all I was trying to get out of everybody.
Yes. Aaron, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. So like,
I think they were the best team last
Right,
year.
they were the most complete team.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to go on the record and say that they set a record in the NFL for the most players drafted by any other team in the history of the NFL draft.
Like I said, it was a weak draft.
Oh my gosh.
Do I have like a ba-dum-bum ching on this thing?
I need 10 seconds. Michigan players drafted. Number 10, J.J. McCarthy. Number 49, Chris Jenkins. Number 50, Mike I'm going to screw this guy's name up, but he's a stud. Sanadrell, I believe he plays safety. Number 69, Junior Colson. Blake Corum, 83, went to go be with Harbaugh. Number 84, Roman Wilson. Number 85, Zach Zinter. Number 121, A.J. Barner. Number 172, Trevor Keenan. Number 240, Mike Barlett. Number 249, Darius Henderson. Number 252, Jaden Harrell. And number 253, Cornelius Johnson. That is a NFL record. NFL record.
Trolling.
He just put on a cricket song. That's why he likes his new. That's why he likes fastest new board. But the reality is that you look at that and then you take a peek at like what is going to happen this year. I agree with you, Evan. You when you have a great, amazing year where you are the best team in college football. And at the beginning of the season, we didn't know that, but at the end, we did. They beat Bama. I mean, I'll tell you what. People are like, "Why did we beat Bama?" Because we're a better team. That's why we beat Bama. And I'm going to be a realist, and I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen in Michigan this year. I think our defense is going to be fantastic. I think the offense is questionable. We've got multiple quarterback starters. Orgy is, obviously he sounds like he's leading the way, but you take a look at projected strongest defenses in 2024. You've got Michigan. You got at number 1, Ohio State at 2, Iowa's 3, Oregon's 4. 5 is Georgia, Clemson's 6, Notre Dame's 7, and Nebraska's 8. So I think
Nebraska.
I know, right?
Iowa.
Caitlin Clark stopped playing football.
But the reality is, I do believe that Michigan's defense is going to be very, very strong this year. I don't believe we're going to be maybe a national contender. Let's call it what it is.
Could they make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think we'll make the playoffs. I think we'll be maybe a 9-3, 9-4 team would be my guess.
I don't think that makes the playoffs.
Okay, so 10-2.
I think they got to win. I think they got to win 10 games.
Okay, 10-2.
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
I think you can't lose more than 2 games.
I think flip a coin, and I'm a Michigan fan.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little bit of a rebuilding year. Some people think actually 2026 is going to be the rebuilding year. I'm a little bit apprehensive. I mean, obviously we've got a stud. Edward. What's his last name? The running back. I can't think of it at the moment.
Is it Donovan Edwards?
Yeah, Donovan Edwards. Thank you. Jeez, Pete, why couldn't I remember that?
He's a senior?
Yeah, he'll be
okay.
Yeah, he was a junior last year.
Good.
He's a stud.
He is good.
Yeah, so he'll be our offense more than the quarterback position will be. We'll be in a major quarterback change, right? With where things are going. But I do believe that Michigan will be competitive. I just don't know if it'll be good enough to be a 10-2, 11-1 team. Ooh, a little photo. There we go.
Tough conference.
Yeah. Hey, you look at who you're playing this year. You've got Washington. You've added Oregon. I mean, these are tough. And you have Texas in your first game. Texas is like.
They're going to be, I think they're going to be pretty good.
Texas is going to be hard to beat.
Hey,
and we got another opening game. I mean.
You give Michigan Notre Dame's schedule this year, I think they run the table.
Yes, I agree. I don't.
I think I have a question.
So, do we all agree that schedules sometimes, like last year, Michigan's schedule was bending towards being competitive for them?
But it was
they didn't get dinged up too much.
But there was a lot of play. So I believe this is a very loaded statement, but to be as simple as possible, I believe Notre Dame technically usually has an easier schedule than a lot of Big Ten teams do. I think Michigan had several places last year where they could have goofed up. Yeah. They went to Maryland. They played Penn State.
Times.
They played Penn State.
Yeah, at Penn State.
Notre Dame needs to play a tougher schedule.
Okay.
I think Michigan plays a tough schedule in the Big Ten. Yeah. It's only going to get tougher with teams like Oregon moving into the conference. I think Michigan's schedule next year is pretty dang hard. I don't think they're in the playoff. I don't.
They're a tweener for me right now.
Yeah,
tweener?
I don't think they're in the playoff. I think there's one. I think there's.
I think if
maybe two teams from the Big Ten in the playoff.
If their offense overperforms, I think their defense is good enough to get them there.
Okay.
But again, just some question marks on offense. You don't know. Obviously, new coach. It's a little bit different.
Can I throw this bombshell?
But tweener.
So let's talk about Ohio State because I heard this could be rumor, not confirmed. $32.4 million is what I've heard between transfer portal, players, coaches.
That doesn't surprise me.
Normal.
That's a big number. $32.4 million is what I heard.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Does that get them to this 12-game playoff?
I don't think Ryan Day's the guy.
Okay. All right. I agree with you. I'm not a big Ryan Day fan to begin with, but
I think they
went out and bought the best transfer portal, coach you can get.
That's what you got to do though now.
Hey, do you know that Michigan stole their defensive back coordinator?
No, I think it was running back coach.
Running back coach? Yeah, it was.
Notre Dame with me.
Yeah.
I think the NCAA. is going to have a watered down problem here. I think this is the new reality. When you move to
there's no correction.
Right. When you move to a playoff system like this, it is going to be hard to it's going to become the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
The dominant teams are not going to be dominant anymore. One team could have a good game.
Yeah.
You could get the star player in the transfer portal.
Yep.
I think there's going to be more parity than there ever was.
We talked about that last year. Yeah, it's coming.
I think there's going to be more parity than there ever was or ever has been. I don't think that Alabama is a big player in the college football game anymore. I think
agree with that.
Those days are gone.
That's why Saban left. I think me and Evan, you agree on that?
I think his timing was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a dummy.
Yeah, he's not stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Georgia's going to be on top of the mountain for a little bit longer. I don't know if Ryan Day's the guy or not. Their quarterback selections have been a little bizarre lately. And that's my question mark for Ohio State. Ohio State goes as their quarterback goes. And obviously last year was not the best year for that. So who knows what this transfer quarterbacks. Who did they get? They got the guy.
Where did he come from?
Because their main guy went to Syracuse. McCord went to Syracuse.
Yeah.
I can't even keep him straight anymore.
It's like a total downgrade going from Ohio State to Syracuse.
There's going to be a lot of parity.
Yeah,
so
sure
I don't know. I think the Big Ten's going to beat each other up next year.
Okay.
Pac-12 doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Some of those teams went to the ACC. Stanford's not going to be a player in the ACC for a long time to come, if ever again. What does Clemson and Florida State do? Do they go to the Big Ten? Do they stay put? Do they go to the SEC? I mean, we're still in those limbo years.
Clemson's an interesting
yes,
study.
It is.
I mean, with
Dabo not playing games,
he's been very, very vocal on not really playing that game.
Yep.
And I think right now, for every university, there's got to be those internal conversations of, if we aren't going to participate, we have to lower our expectations on on
those fans aren't going to take it down there.
No,
and
they're
that's
not going to like that.
What I mean is, at some point, there's going to be some difficult conversations with Dabo on. You're going to have to jump on board, or we're going to go a different direction.
Yeah. Well, this is the Varsity Brews podcast, and obviously we talk about college football and football in general, and we also talk about beer, and we're back on the beer game right now.
Yes.
And what are we drinking here?
So listen, we don't always just talk about WestWind. I like to go on the record. I'm a craft beer snob on the side. So.
What did we have that first beer? What did we have?
So these are both from Wax Wings. So we can thank brother Eric who brought these down. So my lovely wife, or my lovely bride, I guess I should say.
Hi, lovely bride.
I love Brad. Wave. She's back there. The first one we had was the Buzzin' Prince.
That's the first beer I had?
Yeah, they're out of Kalamazoo. My daughter had a soccer tournament up there, and we stopped in there, and I said, hey, pick me up some good beers. But this is an IPA with honey. It is 7.2 ABV. That was our first one that we tried.
Yeah,
so
like that can, too.
Give our shout out to Wax Wings. So even those
not WestWind, but Wax Wing.
And Wax Wings. So, but in the good spirit of WestWind, who has a little mission on the side, but we've got double Nazareth. So I wanted you guys to have this. So I actually asked Eric to bring this back.
This is from Wax Wing?
This is from Wax Wings. Wax Wings with an S. W-I-N-G-S. But this is called Double Nazareth. They have Nazareth and they have Double Nazareth, so they're DIPA. It's a hazy. It's fantastic. But I really like this. It's very sweet, and I thought this would be a fun little share that we do.
Did Nazareth sing Love Hurts?
So normally we can't.
Is that what Nazareth sang? You remember Nazareth, the band?
Hey, Mama, you want some? You normally can't because we're a brewery and we're after hours. This is a private party here. Here, Mama, come get some. This is Double Nazareth from Wax Wings. So there's your shout out, boys. Don't act like I didn't give you some love, but I gave this beer a 5. Here you go, Mama. There you go. And this is a double IPA. See what you think. It's got a little bit of sweetness.
Come on in.
Yeah, you want to come in?
Come on in.
Come on in, Audrey.
Come on in.
Audrey's coming on the show.
Come on in.
You might as well get on the show,
Come
Audrey.
on in, bride.
This is
Come
my
on
lovely bride of, how many years? 18? I think it's coming up on 19?
Cheers.
I think it's coming up on 18.
Cheers. So this is Nazareth Double IPA.
Double Nazareth is I believe it's a double IPA. It's a little hazy, but it's got a little sweetness. I'm picking up lactose notes.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm catching the lactose.
Yeah,
too.
lots of lactose. It's got a nice sweetness to it. I gave this
Lots
beer.
of lactose.
I gave this beer a 5. Like on Untapped, like I gave this beer.
Oh, like a perfect 5.
This is to me. Listen, if I'm a beer drinker, Evan may think otherwise, but if you're a New England guy, that's I mean,
New England guy.
Yeah, it's got great floralness. The nose on it's fantastic. I like boozy beers, even though it doesn't drink boozy. It
doesn't.
No, it does not.
What is 5? Can you educate me on the lactose part of it?
Yeah, so lactose is
I'm
like
a big fan.
Yeah,
Lactose.
so I mean, people started throwing lactose in beers. I mean, as we talk about craft beer, and that was a new thing that kind of came in. So lactose is I guess an adjunct, I guess you could call it, that you throw into. You can throw it in the boil, most commonly in the boil. You could put it in the mash tun, but basically it adds sweetness to it. So think of it like a little bit of milk. If you're gluten free, stay away from it. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel it for sure.
Are you gluten free, buddy?
No, I haven't had bread of any kind in like 3 months.
This guy's gonna be like, he's gonna be.
I know.
His body is going to revolt here.
It's okay. I chose this.
How long do we got?
Tomorrow.
He's
Tick, tick.
He's gonna be like Will Smith, you know that movie where his ears start blowing up and everything. Yeah, so be mindful of that. I mean, as you talk about beers and stuff, but lactose adds sweetness. It adds a little bit of milkiness to it, so it's pretty delicate.
Mouth feels a little fuller.
Mouth feels. It's got some sweetness to it. So unlike where WestWind's New England's are a little bit more dry and floral, this has got a little more sweetness to it. So I mean, I appreciate the style. This is a fantastic beer. I told you what I gave it. I gave it a 5. I told my bartender when I got it, I'm like, wow, this is a fantastic beer. My daughter was with me. I've got a picture of her not liking being at Wax Wings. Up in Michigan, kids can be in the bars, which I grew up in Michigan, so now, which is kind of fun. So she's like, this feels so awkward, Papa, but I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So,
Well, buddy, this
yeah.
is long overdue. You're the one that came up with this. He's never received this before. But today is the day because of the education that we're receiving.
Oh, this is like the education award?
Hey,
It's a gold
it's a participation trophy.
After the last 2 weeks,
Thank you for participating in the
after the last
podcast.
2 weeks, I get a participation trophy. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you.
Speech.
Oh man, I've had a rough couple of weeks, man. I'll tell you what. Honestly, truth, man. Our glycol system went down, so we've got a few people that are, from a brewing standpoint, I got behind. I'm probably behind about 2 weeks right now. So yeah, my wife knows. As we had a nice, good conversation last night, maybe like 3 words, saying that it's been a rough couple of weeks. But yeah, it's nice to get an award. So I accept this award on behalf of the Varsity Brews podcast. Thank you.
All you got to do is participate, buddy.
Oh shoot! So no, it's all good. But as you get into brewing and you start seeing different styles and stuff, it's always fun to see what other people are doing, and Wax Wings is doing it right up there. If you ever get a chance to get up that way, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Wax Wings Brewery, small little
Some
brewery.
good breweries up there.
There's great breweries up there. I mean, obviously Bell's is up there. We went up to Bell's. My daughter's like, "Are we even supposed to be in here?" I'm like, "Yes, that's okay. We're not in Indiana, Ash." So
We're all right.
yeah, different
And the
laws, you know.
Yeah, the cafe.
Check them out. They're doing it right. And then another shout out I'll give out is Homes up that way. If you're up in Ann Arbor, they're doing it right up that way.
He knows something about Ann Arbor.
Me too. I was up there a lot.
Yeah.
Growing
By the way, the official beer of Northern Indiana FC, by the way, football club.
Wow.
So if you're going to be out this, come on out and support your local pro soccer club.
Should we announce it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we have decided in a joint conjunction that we will be the official sponsor with VSR Media as the brewery, I guess, and beer, and we're actually going to serve some wine.
Hey, let's do it.
Yeah, all the permits are approved.
Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio.
Yeah.
You got that Pinot Grigio, eh?
Hold on.
Nice. I love the cheering.
I got some booze in there, too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be serving up our. I'm calling it Traveler's Pills. So I haven't brewed it yet. Now that I got the glycol system up, I've got a lot of brewing to do in the next week and a half.
Up the Travelers.
Yeah, hashtag up the Travelers. But Northern Indian FC, one of our partners, that VSR Media sponsors and WestWind sponsors, and we're gonna make a beer for them, and we're gonna serve it right at their home games. So we're excited. They got 5 home games this year, and they said, hey, we want to have our own exclusive beer. I'm like, let's do it. And so I got to go meet with the St. Joseph County Sheriff, and that's something that's kind of on the horizon. That's pretty cool. Should be a nice, cool, clean, crisp idea. We've got our buddies over at Gateway Cellars here in Elkhart. They're going to be providing the Pinot Grigio. And then our friends up at Dean's, they're going to be helping us out, get some wines as well.
Sweet.
So whether you're a beer person or a wine person, you'll be able to watch the game and celebrate soccer at its greatest. So we're super excited. That I think our first home game is like May 29th.
Your birthday. I've already got it circled on the calendar.
Got it circled? Yeah.
I've got it circled. You have it circled.
Well, I might have soccer practice.
Oh, no.
Audrey says she might have soccer practice.
I mean-
Get a babysitter. Wait, our kids are older. But it should be pretty cool. So we're going to be serving some beers up there and doing that on the road. So we're excited about that partnership.
Well, listen, certainly we are so glad to be back on the Varsity Brews podcast. Hopefully we'll have one here, one a month, 2 a month until the in season, and then in season, obviously we're going to do 1 a week. But we certainly appreciate you guys, Audrey. Love you guys. We love doing the podcast here after hours, especially.
Yeah,
We've got
super
crazy
fun.
hours and we're at jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
So we're ready to box
Were
each
you guys
other.
really boxing each other?
We had Muay Thai tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't partnered up.
Oh,
but
you weren't partnered up?
Not
You were
tonight.
hitting somebody else? Jeez.
My arms were gonna fall off. I was holding that freaking bag so
It was
long.
pretty hot in there tonight, too.
We gotta have that guy in the podcast. He is
Joe.
Joe. He has some
Joe would be
interesting
great.
stories.
That's JJ?
Yeah, Joe would be great.
So, anything else for the good of the order here before we wrap it up?
Evan?
Do we have any predictions or?
Of what?
I don't know.
I don't have any predictions.
Okay, I'll make a prediction. We're going to make 2 predictions. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Who's going to win college football playoffs with the 2 new 12
Or
teams?
May 2nd.
The Chiefs.
Okay. Chiefs? You're going Chiefs?
I'm going Chiefs. Yeah.
I'm going the Lions.
I didn't expect anything else from you.
All right, let's go college football.
He wasn't gonna say Packers.
No.
College football. Who's going to win?
That one's tough, but I'll pick Georgia.
It's going to be hard.
I got Georgia.
Michigan.
That's your pick?
Is that your pick?
Oh, you
No,
already
I was
picked
making
Notre
a pick
Dame.
for you.
Oh.
I didn't pick Notre Dame. That's 12-0.
All right, I'm gonna pick 2. Can I pick 2? Is that fair?
I mean, only one team can win the national championship.
No, but it's early. So
1A, 1B.
I actually think Texas or Oregon are going to.
Texas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are my 2 teams.
Returning quarterback.
Yep.
Oregon?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, and Oregon. Oregon
With
got
that
it.
schedule?
Nope.
Buddy.
Okay. Let's see.
Stick with Texas.
Okay.
I think Texas is actually a good pick, but I got Georgia.
Audrey, who do you think?
Oh gosh. Every team I pick loses. It doesn't matter. I have no.
We'll go with your
No.
favorite home team.
Oh, I know what you want me to say. No.
Just say it.
Penn High School.
Northern Indiana FC. I was gonna say it. All right, with that, this is the Varsity Brews podcast. Find us online. We've got merch up there. You can find merch in the store here at WestWind as well. So come on in and go buy a boat from your local Barletta
Yeah,
dealer.
Barletta.
Yeah.
Good seeing you boys, man. It's
Hey.
been too long. I mean,
Hey.
I feel like, it's been a couple months since I've gotten together with you guys. I miss you guys. I love you too. So.
Love you,
do this
bro.
again soon.
We are going to do this again very soon. This is the Varsity Brews podcast. Check us out at varsitybrewspodcast.com. I think that's the
Yeah,
website.
let's go.
And get your merch. We'll talk to you soon.